Please be ready for a dictation of an article on Constitution of India. 5 seconds. Start. We, the people of India, adopted our Constitution on November 26, 1949. While this date has been important for the nation, in 2015, the government has decided to celebrate November 26 as the Constitution Day every year in a tribute to Baba Saheb Bhimrao Ambedkar, the chief architect of our Constitution, on his 125th birth anniversary. Theoretically, a constitution is essentially a body of fundamental principles which guides the government of country. It ensures rights and dignity to its citizens and upholds the unity of the nation. Before the Constitution was adopted and implemented, India was governed by the Government of India Act 1935, passed by the Parliament of the United Kingdom. For every country, the Constitution is its soul. For India, it is much more because it embodies the ethos that guided our freedom fighters in their struggle for the country's independence. Thanks to the wisdom of its makers, the Indian Constitution is the conscience keeper of the government and offering a protection to the country's democratic fabric. The Indian Constitution was adopted on November 26, 1949, and a few of its provisions came into effect immediately, and the rest came into force on January 26, 1950. Every year, the nation celebrates August 15 and January 26 every year as the Independence Day and Republic Day on a grand scale. On the same lines, the Government of India has decided to celebrate November 26 as the Constitution Day on a scale that befits its significance. The aim behind this was simple: to make the new generation well aware of the Constitution and help them understand it in a better way so that they can contribute in the making of a new India. The decision was to pay a rich tribute to Baba Saheb Bhimrao Ambedkar, the chief architect of the Constitution, on his 125th birth anniversary. Dr. Ambedkar played a seminal role in the framing of the Indian Constitution as the chairman of the drafting committee of the Constitution. In a diverse country such as India, it was important that the people were made aware of the provisions of the Constitution. Observing November 26 as the Constitution Day reflects the Union government's commitment and resolve to uphold the constitutional values. After independence, when crores of people dreamed of moving ahead with new hopes and their spirit was high despite adverse conditions prevailing at that time, it was not an easy task to give a constitution acceptable to all. In a country which has more than a dozen religions, which has more than 100 languages and thousands of dialects, where people who have been living even in remote forest areas, besides in villages, towns and cities with their own faiths, it was not an easy task to bring all of them on one platform and prepare this holistic document that respects their faiths and beliefs. Proudly, Indian Constitution has made it all possible. Though the Indian Constitution draws upon the constitutions of many other countries, yet it offers a unique set of laws for India. Our constitution makers studied constitutions of more than 60 countries to give India what suited it the best. The language of the preamble was taken from Australia's constitution, and the style of the preamble was taken from the United States. The Indian Constitution is the longest for any sovereign country in the world. In its current form, it has a preamble, 22 parts with 395 articles, 12 schedules, 4 appendices, and 104 amendments. Provision for amendments make a constitution more flexible. Makers of the constitution knew well in advance that with the changing times, the constitution will need to be amended. Therefore, they provided a detailed amending procedure while ensuring that it is not amenable to the whims of the rulers. So far, the Constitution has seen 104 amendments, the latest being in January 2020. What makes the Indian Constitution unique and different is that it offers equality for all and provides for the rule of law. It guarantees fundamental rights to each and every citizen, whether underprivileged or oppressed, backward or deprived. It protects their fundamental rights and safeguards their interests. It is the duty and responsibility of every citizen that they must abide by the Constitution in its letter and spirit. Citizens and administrators alike must move ahead in accordance with the spirit of our Constitution. The message that our Constitution conveys is that no one should be harmed in any way. The celebration of Constitution Day demands that all of us should strengthen each other. Any individual or any institution should be able to understand needs of the other and also understand the challenges faced by everyone. When the executive, judiciary, and legislature, these three institutions focus on their duties enshrined in the Constitution, then only they can be able to deliver justice and uphold constitutional values. The 70th anniversary of the adoption of the Constitution of India was celebrated in November 2019 in the Central Hall of Parliament House, the place where it was first adopted in 1949. Mass reading of the preamble to the Constitution is the main feature being held on the Constitution Day. Stop.